We've also got these Oxbridge student camps, and it's all related, of course, to what is going on in Gaza. Now, last night, people got pretty hopeful. Talks of a ceasefire deal being accepted. There was a ceasefire deal on the table, which Israel had previously accepted after talks in Cairo, which Hamas had not accepted. And then it kind of swapped around. And then last night, all of a sudden, Hamas has accepted a ceasefire deal. But Israel pointed out, well, no, this isn't. We're not quite sure what the details are. But no, that isn't the ceasefire that was on the table. And basically, Hamas want to just basically have absolute guarantee, all Israeli troops out, permanent ceasefire, and then we might start releasing some hostages, but only 30-odd of them, not all of them. I mean, that's not a ceasefire deal.
No, it isn't. And I think what we need to understand is the deal that is being put down, and this was the joint Qatari-Egyptian deal on behalf of Hamas, and it was given to the Israeli government. We don't know the details. Now, Benjamin Netanyahu has come out and said it doesn't meet our criteria, it is off the table, but we will continue talking. So I think that is quite positive.
There's another delegation going to Cairo, which is that's a good sign.
Yeah, it is, and it's more talking, I think, than we've had previously, so it does look as though both sides are looking to make some kind of deal. But you don't blame the Israelis for being very suspicious of why Hamas are suddenly putting their hands up.
I think a lot of
saying,
people do blame the Israelis. This has been a PR coup once again by Hamas terrorists, where they're basically, it looks like Israel are the bad guys. You want peace? It's really simple. Hand back all the hostages.
And that's it.
And stop firing rockets. There have been rockets fired into Israel today from Hamas. It's really, really simple. There were no Israeli troops in Gaza on October the 7th.
And Hamas have not been known to keep their promises. So you can see why Israel are a little suspicious of this.
Claire,
am I going to be accused of all sorts?
Proscribed terrorist crews not keeping their promises. I am shocked to the core.
I'm terribly sorry to have brought your programme into such disrepute with that statement. But yes, unsurprisingly, a terrorist organisation has not kept straight. And now they're using other people to say, OK, no, this time they really mean it. I think we need to see the detail of this because none of us particularly understand what is on the cards.
But they can have a ceasefire. I mean, again, also, you know, we've seen this assault on Rafah, the southern city in Gaza, where, of course, you know, 1 million people have moved from Gaza city down to Rafah in the south of the country, and people being bombarded with leaflets from Israeli planes telling them you need to move to this evacuation area. Look, it's horrific for those people, and my heart goes out to civilians. Yes, we do. No right-thinking person could not care about civilians, particularly children. Got no part in this. Been forced to live like this, and definitely want more aid going in. I mean, and even if Hamas takes some of the aid, I don't care. I still want more aid going in. That's part of, that's just necessary for keeping human life going. But at the end of the day, we didn't, when we were bombing countries and wars, we didn't leaflet them in advance to say, can you please move, we're trying to save civilian life. So Israel get attacked for doing that and attacked for not doing it. What are they supposed to do? Just leave Hamas in Rafah and go, that's fine. You just keep 131 of our citizens and you just carry on torturing and beating them and raping them. That's fine. We're good. It's all done there. There is no other country in the world that we'd expect to do that. If they'd done that to our country, I'm telling you, if I was in charge of the policy, ain't none of them alive still. I'm telling you that right now. But we know that within Israel there is real pressure, isn't it? They've got the hardliners in that coalition with Netanyahu who are basically saying, you need to get every last, Hamas fighter out. You need to get every last hostage out. Ones we think are still alive, possibly 100 of the 131 still missing. Could be lower than that, though. But on the other side, you've got the families of hostages saying, do a deal. And look, that's why you don't let the hostages' families negotiate, because they would if it was my family, I'd do the deal.
Yeah, well, of course you would. And I think that's the thing, when emotion comes into it, you want this to be ended. And I'm the same as you. I want to see enough aid going in. It's pretty appalling that groups of individuals in Palestine, innocent civilians, have been moved 3 or 4 times. Everywhere they end up, they're told they're safe, then they have to move again. Nobody wants that to continue. And we do need those hostages to be released. And in my mind, it's very, very simple. Let's all have a ceasefire, put those hostages back over to Israel, the ones that are alive, repatriate bodies of those who aren't, so that those families have some kind of closure, and then we can start looking at what the future is for those two places.
But we know Hamas took the hostages as a negotiating ploy to try. They thought it would try and prevent some of the bombing, and you cannot allow doing it. The same way they use the children as human shields. You cannot give in to terrorists like this. You really cannot. I'd love to hear your views on this, and if you want to throw in a little bit, we're going to talk in a moment about these students, whether it's in America now or Oxford and Cambridge. Just deep sighs all round about these privileged little... Oh, God, what's the word? I can't think of a word I'm allowed to say on air, but you know what I'm thinking. I know what you're thinking. Right, doing these demonstrations, feel free to have your thoughts on it. Again, keep it clean if you can. But Israel has carried out airstrikes on Rafah in southern Gaza after rejecting the ceasefire on offer from Hamas last night. I want to know what your reaction is to that, whether it's the right thing to do, wrong thing to do, what should Britain do, what sort of ceasefire deal would be acceptable. And what do you make of students having their tuppence worth? I'd love to hear your thoughts.